by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. 5 days straight, no rest, oh well. I don't need no scale. I've been on my, I don't need no help. Always getting money, rains, no sleep. Every day I work my thumb. I don't get to take off. A hater get up. I'm ready like lift off. I never been nowhere, but I'm ready to stay gone. Nothing ever lasts long. I'm always beating the odds. Taking all these trips, I had to go and get a passport. I'm just trying to live. I don't know what these mad for. I just had to do and got a really big bag for it. Still at your mama crib and getting money, you gotta ask for it. I got tired of complaining. I gotta change my situation. Looking at the view outside, I thought I would never make it. Every day these pay, but that don't stop the money making. If you want it, go and take it. Ain't no point in hesitating. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind. I don't wanna be on the ground when the time flies. Had so many friends go, I wonder when it's my time. I live every day like I'll die by the nighttime. It took me so long getting back to my right mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the London Black Knights and the Arizona Cardinals.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. It's head hot. Fan. 60 Pittsburgh. Come on, now. Ready, go.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Let's see what you got.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
After last week's loss, you bet this offense probably wanted to come out with a little more fire than a 3 and out.
And I'm sure that people are saying, hey, come on, Coach, where was the pregame talk? Have these guys ready to go? But you and I both know it goes into preparation and practice and being ready to go. That gives you the confidence to come out and play. They've got to find that and fast.
A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he powers his way up past the 30. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. 12 yards there and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Second and 15. Eluding the pressure right. And he completes it to Westbrook. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 33. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions, because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Now Johnson. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And this is caught by Evans. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. They'll run it with Johnson. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Duke Johnson with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. And let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Now this throw caught left side. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert, he's going to loft one. Deep left side, and that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella with touchdown number 20 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Get ready, get ready, get ready. At their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And just one tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this first quarter. On second down, it's Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. Back to throw. He's got Evans. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
And the London first down.
Come on, set. 60, orange. Target. You go take. Let happen.
On first down, Johnson. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Second and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Brian Burns in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving some...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. That ball complete to Isabella. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make.
Absolutely. It takes 2 to tango. Now this is Hilton on the receiving end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On first down, Drake, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for. Third down here.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he hits Drake, and down inside the 15 he goes. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13. They'll run on first down. Drake, and the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
152 fighter.
Jordan Whitehead on the tackle. 10 yards on the pickup. It's second and inches.
Hey, box drop, fire.
On second down now. It's Drake, and forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make it third down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
First down, Black Knights.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. He'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Here's 2nd and 8. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, Herbert. This one caught by Isabella. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Operating from the gun, Herbert. Flushed out right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. A final shot before break. Herbert. And he will be brought down as time has now run out on this first half of action. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we've got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? 2nd and 6. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carl Lawson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Ready? Here we go. Hey, zoom.
Tight ends right. Watch tight. Tight ends right. 40.
Ready?
On 3rd down, Herbert able to find Isabella. And he'll be out right at the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
At the 39-yard line.
Give me that ball. You're out. Give me that ball, defense. He's coming. Ready.
They go to Johnson again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
48-yard line.
first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. 2nd and 14. Open man is Kirk, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try and pound it in with Drake. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kenyon Drake with his 16th touchdown of the year. Here the Cardinals push further out in front. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Randy Gregory in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now back to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Returnable here from the 38. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Drake will start the drive on the ground. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They stay on the ground with Drake. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
10-2 saw. Pilot, 64, weak.
Watch twins. Watch twins. 6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Look, squeeze.
Watch twins.
Spies. Speed trip.
From the gun on 3rd down. Herbert. And able to find Kirk complete. A nice 1st down pickup on a gain of 6.
They'll give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and they picked up a 1st down for him, too.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Give the tackle that time to Jordan Whitehead. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth.
15-1. 15-1.
Bandit. 45. 45.
Smooth.
45.
Looking to throw on second down. Herbert. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Let's go. Big series right here. We got
Throwing on third and long. Herbert. And this is going to be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline. Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1 yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. They begin the drive with Johnson. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, there is still time to recover from this. It remains a 2-score game even with the 2 points there, but let's just say things not trending in the right direction.
I like that phrase. I'm going to say it along with you. Things are definitely not trending in the right direction. They needed something on that drive. Instead, they gave up 2 points and a lot of hope.
Look at me. Go. Go.
Running, it's Drake.
Take it back.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Looking to throw. Herbert going up top. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Andy Isabella was the intended target. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They go play action here on first down. And that's caught inside the 30. And a huge play that time. 41 yards. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Looking to throw. He completes it to Evans. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Second down and inches. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he will take it in for the touchdown. Chris Godwin, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are back within a single score.
Big score, first step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Man, if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Drake. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Right back to Drake. He's got the first down and more past midfield. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Cardinals. Kenyon Drake. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive, and it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they end up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's going to let it fly. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by James Bradbury. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Leo! Ready?
They'll keep it on the ground. Drake, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Arizona. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Derwin James with a pick, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
good. 60 or.
It's a party now. It's a party.
The defense. So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Cardinals, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for our visitors, this loss will mean they finish the season right at 500 at 8-8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next.